So AI is everywhere, right? And it's getting scary powerful. But that power brings up this huge nagging question. And today, we're going to dive into a technology that might finally have an answer.
Seriously, can we really trust the AI we rely on? I mean, when an AI makes a call, like moderating your post or screening your job application, how can you be sure it did what it was supposed to? How do you know no one messed with it? The scary part is, right now, you just can't. And that is a huge, huge problem. Okay, so before we get to the solution, we really need to wrap our heads around the problem. And in the tech world, they have a name for it: the black box problem.
Just think about it for a second. Most AI today is basically a black box. You feed it a question, and poof, an answer comes out. But what happens in between? It's a total mystery. The whole process is opaque. You can't see how it got there. It's often unrepeatable, meaning you could ask the exact same thing tomorrow and get a totally different answer. And the real kicker? It's unverifiable. You're just supposed to, what, take its word for it?
And this is where things get really sketchy. Let's break down the ways this black box can fail. I mean, were there hidden prompts that secretly changed the instructions? Did a human just fake the decision or tweak it afterwards? And this last one, outcome shopping, this is a big deal, especially in science. It's when someone just keeps running the AI, throwing out the results they don't like until they finally get the one they wanted to publish. Every single one of these things just destroys trust.
So yeah, that's the problem. It's a big one. But what if we could build something totally different? What if, instead of a black box, we could build a glass box? An AI that's designed from day one to be totally transparent and provable. And here's what that shift looks like. We're talking about going from opaque to transparent, from probabilistic, where the answer is kind of just a best guess, to deterministic, where you are guaranteed to get the same outcome from the same inputs every single time. And most importantly, we go from these unverifiable judgments to computations you can replay and prove.
Okay, so how on earth do you actually build this glass box? Well, it all comes down to an architecture built on four really powerful interconnected pillars. And these pillars are what guarantee the whole thing's integrity. Let's break them down one by one. First up, we have pillar number one, the safe box. The best way to think about this is like a sealed, completely tamper-proof room for the AI to work in. The whole software environment inside is built to be perfectly repeatable, and the entire thing gets a unique cryptographic fingerprint, a root hash. Now, if even a single tiny bit of code is different, that fingerprint changes. This gives you an ironclad guarantee that the AI is running exactly the software it's supposed to be, with no funny business. Next, pillar number two, the immutable recipe. This is brilliant. Every single part of the AI's instructions, we're talking the workflow, the model, the prompt you give it, gets its own unique ID based on its actual content. It's kind of like a recipe for a cake. If you change a single ingredient, even just a tiny pinch of salt, you don't have the same recipe anymore, right? You have a brand new one. It's the same idea here. You can't secretly tweak the instructions without creating a totally new, verifiable recipe. All right, pillar three tackles a really tricky problem: randomness. How can you prove something that involves chance? Well, the answer is the pre-committed dice roll. Before the AI even starts, all the randomness it might need is generated from one single starting number, a seed, and that seed gets locked in. So even though it looks like the AI is making random choices as it goes, the entire sequence of those choices was actually set in stone from the very beginning. This makes it literally impossible to outcome shop by just running it again and again hoping for a different result. That whole problem, gone, by design. And finally, pillar four brings it all home: the perfect replay. You see, the log file from the AI's run isn't just a simple record of what happened. No, it's a complete replayable specification. It contains the unique fingerprints of the safe box, the immutable recipe, and that pre-committed dice roll. This log has everything, and I mean everything, that anyone would need to run the whole process again and get the exact same result. An AI's decision stops being this fuzzy, subjective judgment call. It becomes a cold, hard, verifiable fact. So you put these four pillars together, and what do you get? You get a provable AI. But so what? What does that actually unlock for us? Well, when you no longer have to guess if an AI is telling the truth, it changes everything. It opens the door to a whole new ecosystem of safe AI. The way it's described is pretty powerful. Think of it like a GitHub for AI, because every single AI workflow has its own unique, provable ID. People can finally share, remix, and build on each other's work safely. You can grab someone else's workflow and, with cryptographic certainty, exactly what it is and what it does. This could lead to this incredible exponential growth in AI development, all because it's built on a foundation of safety and proof. Let's look at some real-world examples. Think about content moderation. What a total mess that is right now. With a system like this, the decision to take down your post is no longer some mysterious, subjective call from a faceless moderator. It becomes a verifiable computation. You could actually be given the replay log and check for yourself, proving that the decision was a direct result of the platform's own public rules. That completely changes the conversation around fairness. Or how about AI in hiring? As a job candidate, you could actually verify that you were assessed fairly. And for the employer, they can produce cryptographic proof that their screening process is totally consistent and doesn't have any hidden biases. That's huge for legal protection and just, being fair. And this could honestly be world-changing for science. Right now, there's this huge replication crisis where scientists can't reproduce each other's results. But imagine if researchers published their AI-driven findings along with these replayable logs. Anybody, anywhere, could take that log and verify the conclusion. It would make experiments provably repeatable and could basically eliminate problems like outcome shopping. That's a game changer. So, when you pull all of this together, what you're really looking at is a fundamental shift. It's a complete change in how we relate to our technology. We're moving away from an era of trust and into an era of verification. Think about it. The old way has always been trust me. You just had to rely on the reputation of the company who made the AI. But this new way, it's verify me. The system itself gives you the cryptographic proof of its own actions. The burden of proof just flips completely. You don't have to trust anymore because you can verify. And all of this leaves us with one final massive question to chew on. Once we can build AI that is provably honest, where every single thing it does is verifiable, what happens next? What kinds of new industries, what new kinds of collaborations, what incredible discoveries become possible? It's a pretty amazing future to think about.